Okay. I sound exactly as loud as I don't want to, but it's fine. It's completely freaking fine. So, another session of me just trying to sound properly, just trying to speak properly, which of course will fail miserably, but who gives a shit? So, let's unmute myself and listen to myself for a little while. Okay. And it's fine. I can hear myself speaking. That's awesome. That's already awesome. That's way better than usual. Than usually when I have to adjust a lot of settings before the stream. So, anyway, I want to watch 120 against Focus from the recent Warcraft survival butter. Yes, I turned into a freaking Korean. It's fine. Warcraft survival battle, season 10. I don't even know at what stage of the tournament this game was played. But it's an orc against an undead, one of the better orcs against relatively mediocre undead. Of course, mediocre in terms that he's still a tier 1 player and completely deserving to be to be among tier 1 players, but still, he's not the best, he's not happy, and Focus actually acquired form quite recently, so he's doing very decently. He's playing very decently. He got a good micro. He got a good macro. He can actually outplay 120. But let's watch. Of course, I've got absolutely no single idea if it's gonna happen or if 120 will just turn Focus into a mush on the ground. So, springtime. The first map is likely chosen by an undead, so it'll likely be a loss to an orc, since it's so hard to play on springtime as an orc against an undead. It's so incredibly hard. You don't get enough experience. You can't properly harass undead. Very easily establish his expansion if he wants one, and if he doesn't, he quite easily establish his level 3. Okay, Focus is going. Headhunters instantly. Will it be Farseer? It'll be quite interesting if he goes Farseer, because Blade Master with instant Headhunters is a little bit suboptimal. Yes, it's gonna be Farseer. It's gonna be Farseer against 120, against an Undead. So the game will be either relatively short or very, very long, because usually if you lose with a Farseer, you lose at about 70-foot limit. When your wolves already fallen off greatly to destroyers, and just because they are wolves, they are not as good in late game if you don't go for level 3 wolves, and level 3 wolves are useless against an undead because he can just take a shade with him if he wants. Yes, it requires 100 gold investment, but who gives a shit? It's an undead. Oh, the game can be very long if you properly stall, if you live to your level 5 on Farseer, if you live to your level 5 on Shadowhunter, if you get to your level 4 on Tauren Chieftain, then you suddenly either die to a death coil or survive and win. Anyway, this acolyte is doomed. The only thing I don't know if he'll be able to go and die to these creeps, which he will. No, he didn't. Oh, do I not catch my screen properly? No, it's fine. It should be fine, I guess, right? Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, the stream on my phone for some reason is not going on. What the hell? Why? What happened? Potato, potato. Potato, potato. Come on, wake up. No? For fuck's sake. Sorry. Okay, let's just a few settings. I was so freaking happy that everything worked, at least for a little while. Okay, chat is working. Chat is functioning just fine. Is my stream working? I mean, I'm watching Twitch right now. I hope no drops will happen. Please don't do anything terrible to me. Yes, I know the screen is frozen on my phone, but that's fine if the chat is working. I don't really give a shit about the screen being frozen on my phone. Come on. No, right? Okay. Get up and running. No? No? Still no? Oh, it's fine. It should be fine. It should eventually be fine. At least on some level. I mean, on my PC it likely is working. I don't really know because I can't watch. I need a second. I need a second monitor. I need a second. For hell's sake, how do you call a computer screen? Ah, who gives a shit? Okay. Now let's watch. Let's continue watching the game. 120 decides to creep the mid spot, which is a mistake. He doesn't really go for an expansion. He's making a Nerubian tower back at his base, but that's completely reasonable. That's completely obvious why he's doing so. Because he absolutely wants to be protected from wolves. That's the second wolf going towards him. Two skeletons do not really cut it, but I guess what can you do? And he got yes, he got a ghoul. Oh god, he didn't have a ghoul. He got a troll. He will kill this null, and that's a failed harass, but that's not as terrible as it could be because in general, what you have uh, is that you still were able to at least a little bit interfere with an undead creeping, and you get your tier 2, you get your headhunters, which will turn into berserkers at some point, and that's awful. Right now, right now, 120 is level 2. This ghoul may eventually die, or maybe Farseer will be Sura. No, that's fine. Nobody is gonna die except for maybe one troll berserker, and really focus could have God, 120, it's 120 who is an undead focus is an orc. 120 could have killed him. There was a possibility if he decided to go after this berserker, throwing coils. He needed two coils, but that would be justified. That would be completely justified. And of course, this mammoth goes down, and maybe just one ghoul will fall. That's a ghoul who is in danger, but both wolves should be slowed by this Nerubian tower, and right now Focus is losing the game, and losing the game quite quickly. Because really you can't afford to not kill a single ghoul with Farseer if you play Farseer. And then your Farseer gets surrounded because there is no way he'll get out of this. Yes. Farseer is surrounded, at least one ghoul, no. Every single ghoul is alive. Farseer had to get away, losing his TP. He has no berserkers available. I mean, berserkers are there in the middle of the map, but they should go towards this green spot because he has no future on the map. So he's waiting. He is waiting. No, not. He may decide not to creep this green spot if Undead gets that greedy. And that is pure greed by 120, but it may pay off. The problem right now for Focus is that he's such a low level that he was not able to achieve absolutely anything. You usually want at least a few dead ghouls, but right now everything is alive on 120's side, and he goes tier 3, and it'll be quick destroyers, and quick destroyers will completely obliterate Focus. First Wyvern is getting out. Wyverns will not be a solution in this game because it's a springtime. It's such a large map with so many spots free of trees, and at the same time, Leech will be out. Leech will be out very, very soon. At least Orc is creeping right now, he's getting some experience. Of course, Hex prevents Undead from getting any experience. Even if this creep died to ghouls or died to anything that Undead could do to him, Death Knight would still not get a single point of experience because he would be a critter at this moment. And of course, when you're a frog, you don't get any experience because frogs do not really evolve, do not really learn from their mistakes or achievements that well. And so, first Wyvern is out, and it should may decide to go for the second creep. You can see this Wyvern. I mean, yes, usually Orc can do a single Wyvern just to force you getting web, just to force you getting a few fins early. And then completely avoid making any more Wyverns later. And that may be exactly what Focus is doing right now. It's just a Wyvern to force a few upgrades from an Undead. Yeah, it's drums, it's more or less pure berserkers, it's a net for raiders, yes, it's just a single wyvern. So 120 did everything wrong by not really trying to counter it. Large item goes to an orc, but at least one level 3 creep goes towards an undead, so it's relatively normal for an undead. Lich needs levels. If Lich will be only level 2 at the moment, Torrent Chieftain will be level 2, Torrent Chieftain will be out, Berserker upgrades will be ready, and right now, no. Now he got Berserkers, okay. Then 120 may suffer in the fight. And of course he needs Dark Ranger, he needs Dark Ranger to be at least level 2, preferably not level 1. The moment he decides to fight, and he gets a Dark Ranger, but Orc is there. Orc is ready to fight. Orc should be ready to fight. Yes, Torrent Chieftain is only level 1, but he doesn't have an aura. He got Stomp. Yes, and that is in a preferable position here a little bit, but Orc has to fight. Because when you play with Berserkers against Dark Ranger, against Leech, against Coil, at least level 2 Coil, and Coil is now level 2, Death Knight is finally level 3, you can't really wait for too long. The late game is not for you. You you just lose in the late game, and I don't really know what Focus is doing right now. Berserkers are not doing enough damage. Not dishing out enough damage. Torrent Chieftain will use a healing potion, but it will not save him. It really will not save him. He goes down. Yeah, even through large healing potion, and that doesn't give a shit. That's the situation in this game right now. Because Orc is suffering. Yes, you can say that initial harassment on ghouls was so poor, but eh. There should be skeletons. Skeletons should completely destroy the remaining berserkers. At the same time, he was able to kill at least one destroyer. Destroyers are very pricey. At least a few ghouls died. There is still a large healing potion on someone. Yes, on Farseer. So if Focus doesn't lose a Farseer, it wouldn't be so terrible. Wyvern is still alive. Wyvern is worth way more than Torrent Chieftain level 1. Really, it's worth more. So losing the Wyvern would be more painful step than losing Torrent Chieftain. And Focus desperately needs his level 3 at least on something, and Undead will not let him. What? Oh, Undead decides to go for his Dark Ranger to level... to creep his Dark Ranger to level 2 instead. That's acceptable, that's completely acceptable. He gets good items. I mean, it's Vampiric Aura and an Armor Aura. What else, for hell's sake, do you need? I mean, he may decide to sell the Vampiric Aura. Yes, because he doesn't really have that many ghouls right now, but he needs ghouls. He needs more ghouls. He needs even more ghouls. They just do not live long enough under focus to actually get a lot of benefit from Empiricora. This Torrent Chieftain may die again. Right now, Dark Ranger got silenced, so everything should die on the focus side. Berserkers are a little bit out of place, and ghouls are just munching on an orc's unit. Yes, right now that's the way the matchup is going. Because piercing nerf was devastating for everything that you can have as an orc in this matchup. Since ghouls die so much slower. Meanwhile, Lich is going down. And actually, 120 lost more. How did you manage to lose all your ghouls? I mean, really, how the hell did you manage to lose all your ghouls? Nah, that just happened. These were two chain lightnings and everything died on his side. That's a sad moment for 120. And this statue should be focused. Focused by focus, yes, exactly. And this Torrent Chieftain will just use the second large healing potion. By the way, that's what Orc had on this matchup, on this map. Shadow Hunter got Hex, but he doesn't have Healing Wave available. But right now, Death Knight. Oh, poor Lich. Not dying the second time would be amazing, and to not die the second time, you need to get out of the battle. Wyverns is still alive. This ghoul should also be doomed, but oh, okay, he doesn't want Death Knight. Dark Ranger is still level 2. That's a little bit of a problem for 120. And he doesn't make enough ghouls. You need more ghouls as a fodder. You need more ghouls to deal with what Orc usually has in front. 3 destroyers do not really kill Berserkers or Raiders that well. And he had 3 destroyers in the fight, and that's a little bit too many. Yes, they are able to deal with wolves, but it's just level 1 wolves. So nobody gives a shit about these wolves. Shadowhunter is getting his mana regenerated, and that's completely critical for the success on an orc side. Another chain lightning, another storm should be ready quite soon. About now it would be. Yeah, and that is now just killing berserkers one by one. But at the same time, he shouldn't have that many stats. He has two, okay. So he can continue killing berserkers for quite a while, although he's losing ghouls. But of course, you can always trade ghouls for berserkers. You can absolutely always trade ghouls for berserkers at any given moment. Focus got an expansion, of course, and that's something that should pressure 120 into fighting on an equal grounds instead of just sniping berserkers. This destroyer goes down. He lifts up the second destroyer, who should be instantly webbed. Now, okay. This wyvern is still going down. And Lich is in danger. Lich is in trouble. Lich got another small invul potion, but of course, every small invul potion costs 150 gold. And this Lich is not going down, okay? Torrent Chieftain. What did he buy? Oh, a TP. That's acceptable. Getting a TP is such a good idea here, and two berserkers. One will die, a second one will be fine. Lich got quite a lot of mana, but he was unable to stop even for a second. And then it decides to creep the large red spot using the fact that Orc can heal up instantly. That's likely the largest vulnerability of an Orc, because you have to take a few seconds to recover. So you can just start the fight again instantly, but that was not quick enough. This large mammoth is still alive, and Yes, one Berserker will go down, likely. At least a few ghouls should go down here. Skeletons are getting destroyed. Of course, you want to deal with skeletons because level 2 skeletons are already an absolute disaster if you're playing as an orc. That's why he's usually switching to. He wants to make a bit more wyverns just to prevent the skeletons from being alive. Because skeletons are so awful, skeletons are so dangerous. Skeletons kill your berserkers, skeletons kill your raiders, and they exist in large numbers. Another raider goes down. Torrent Chieftain is in danger, and he may go down here, and he will go down here. No, he uses an Invul Potion, and he'll live at least for a while, and he gets healed by a Healing Wave. But in general, in these fights, Orc loses more. Yes. Focus is at 54, 120 is at 51, but 120 should lead. 120 should lead from now on. Lich is level 3, Death Knight is level 4, level 2 Aura is absolutely crucial against an Orc because it lets you just kill his heroes without attacks, just focus his heroes so much better because nothing can get away from your army any longer. What or got an expansion? Expansion may help. Expansion may help quite a lot. Level 4 Shadow Hunter is important. Level 3.5 Torrent Chieftain is a little bit too afraid to fight right now. And that's a mistake by Focus. You really shouldn't try to kill this mammoth before Undead does anything, but Death Knight was out of place. He was out of position completely. He was the first to fight, and he was the first to fall. And usually when your Death Knight goes down, the fight is over for you. Because without Death Coils, your army just crumbles. It doesn't crumble instantly, but you have to get away, you have to revive him. That's incredibly important, and you have to revive him in the tavern, and it will cost you all your gold. So the difference of having an expansion is even more pronunciated right now. And Orc got himself a pipe! A freaking pipe of brilliance! And that's awesome. That will give Focus a huge advantage, really, during this game. That's additional mana regeneration for his 3 heroes, and all his 3 heroes need mana, need a lot of mana. And now he's fighting, he's taking another red spot for himself. This bears such a juicy chunk of experience. Berserkers deal quite a lot of damage, and it's drums. He should be a bit angry, but he got pipe. Pipe sort of outweighs drums, sort of equalizes the fact that you've got a terrible drop as drums on an orc. And he may want a Codobist. Does he have one? Yes, he have one. He has one, but he needs one more. Yeah, he's making the second Codobist, because you can't really rely on just one Coda. Just having one Coda is not an answer, it's never an answer. And going for gargoyles, can I really appreciate it? No, not really, because 120 should know that gargoyles will have to chase after wyverns, will have to chase over all these berserkers who will try to kill them. And that matters. And he has 5 destroyers. 5 destroyers are of course awesome. I would not mind a few Batriders at least. No. A lot of berserkers will die just to ghouls and skeletons and everything else. One berserker went down, another berserker is going down. Of course, berserkers die quite. Destroyers, of course, destroyers die quite quickly to berserkers as well. And there is also another problem with having 5 freaking destroyers. For what freaking reason do you even have 5 destroyers? Dark Ranger goes down. And 120 types GG. I mean, if he didn't make 5 destroyers and if he made more ghouls during the game, he would win. He would win quite confidently, but it's not what happened. he decided to go for 5 destroyers. Why? What's the point? Against berserkers, destroyers with mana, yes, they are not useless because destroyers are destroyers with mana deal such a huge amount of damage, but against berserkers it's of course limited. Yes, they deal 50% more, but it's still magic damage against normal armor. Medium armor. Normal armor, yes. Medium armor! Medium is the new normal. It always was. It's an old normal, to be honest. Okay. What it is gonna be on Shattered Exile, because Shattered Exile is such a strange map. Yes, you get a juicy green spot, and maybe Undead will decide to go for the mid camp, but I doubt it. He'll go for his usual green camp, and he got a dead ship right next to it, so he'll get a few skeletons out of it. Or will he go for an expansion? Expansion on Shattered Exile, I don't know much about Shattered Exile, but I greatly doubt that with this map layout you'll get such a good expansion, because what do we have in the middle? Tavern. Okay, that's a tavern in the middle. There is a shop which an attacker can use against you if you decide to actually take an expansion. And there are four goblin laboratories. Why do we even have four goblin laboratories on Shattered Exile? I would prefer a fountain. I would prefer more maps with fountains. I know how broken fountains can be, but still. Okay, and it decides to creep, and it decides to take the creeps out, but for hell's sake, that's a level 5 kobold. That's a level 5 kobold, and level 5 kobolds do not really forgive any transgressions. Level 5 kobolds are there to make you feel pain. The whole freaking world of pain. О, вы из Англии. Простите, я, во-первых, таким образом тренирую свой английский, во-вторых, да, днем я периодически стримлю в Warcraft, потому что мне просто нравится смотреть Warcraft, и я нашел способ так или иначе не забывать возможность коммуницировать на английском, ну, как минимум его немножко оживлять, потому что иначе я начинаю говорить, ну, очень медленно. Я и так-то говорю совершенно отвратительно, но вот так вот хотя бы с регулярной тренировкой это звучит чуть лучше. Ну и плюс я в любом случае смотрю иногда матчи по Варкрафту, так что... Так что в данной ситуации это буквально win-win situation. So, right now, losing your sacrificial skull, it was just one sacrificial skull bot, I believe. Yes, quite likely. He never used the second one. I don't see the second one. The second one used... It's painful. Delaying your expansion for such a long time is also very painful, but it's what happens on Shattered Exile. You see this level 5 kobold, you just know that it will not die quickly to your initial 3 ghouls and your initial 2 skeletons, and in the end you just have to surrender getting this expansion for a little while at least, and that's an expansion delayed by at least a minute, maybe minute and a half, and he decided that he will get his tier 2 before he gets his expansion. Yes, Orc doesn't have the quickest tier 2 ever as well, and right now at least one Berserker should die. And of course there are assassins on Shattered Exile. Never liked Undead in Warcraft 3. Orcs go whack! Indeed, orcs go whack! And up to the recent, вплоть до предпоследнего патча, нет, самого последнего патча, Undead в текущий момент были немножко имбанутые на про-сцене. Вот, поэтому тот факт, что их понерфили, а им буквально срезали единичку дамага с гулей, но с учетом того, сколько гулей, эта самая единичка дамага на самом деле довольно болезненная. Они все еще хороши, они все еще, можно сказать, что имеют 3 позитивных матчапа, вот, но, по крайней мере, теперь на это можно смотреть. Поэтому, да, мой резентмент в сторону андедов тоже знатно усилился за последние года полтора, в момент, когда они были настолько невероятно сильны. So, Death Knight is finally level 3. Um, Focus decided to go for quick troll regeneration mostly because a lot of his berserkers are hurt and he gets his Shadow Hunter out, and that was a good hex, that was a mightily needed hex because right now at least 2 berserkers got less than 200 HP, and right now Death Knight is just hunting his enemy and really? You decided to give up? But you could have provoked large healing potion usage from Focus just by using 2 coils, and you've got almost full mana. Why did you decide to give up? And of course, Hex allows an orc to creep, and right now Shadow Hunter was in danger. Coil just snipes him, but that's completely on Focus. That was totally his mistake. You should not ever let this happen. You should have taken the damage with your wolves. You can speak English, I understand it. Not so great in writing or talking, then. Like a dog, lol. Yeah, that's a metaphor that I always also use when I describe my own ability to comprehend anything. Because yes, you understand everything you've been told, but you can't communicate back in any way. Yeah, so I'm also a certain breed of a dog. And the fact that Orc was unable to save his Shadow Hunter is incredibly painful. It may just be the end of the game for him because you need levels on your Shadow Hunter. If Undead decides to be completely passive, if Undead for some reason decides to let his Leech stand in his base for what, half a minute already? Come on, 120, you're a tier 1 pro player. Didn't you forget something? Finally! I mean, he was waiting for an orb, of course, but getting a backpack and then moving his leech with an orb towards... I mean, not with an orb, just with a staff, and then bringing an orb in a backpack of some ghoul would be a way better decision. So, what did Orc get from this spot? Not much. The spot, of course, is red. There should be... Yes, that's an item creep. This large nightmare at level 6 is an item creep, but what can you do? And the tomb creep also will go to the undead. This doesn't look well for an orc. And large nightmare also goes to an undead, and Dark Ranger is out. Lich is not level 2 yet, and it was a flute. Oh, for hell's sake, it was a flute. So, ranged aura from the flute, he decides to sell it. Why? You will have destroyers, you will have your 2 ranged heroes, and just Lich alone will get a lot of benefit from this 10%. No, I don't want to. I don't have an expansion. I want to get to 50. I want to get out of 50. That's strange. That's so strange. And for some reason he decides not to go for assassins. That's really, really strange by an undead, because assassin is such a good creep no matter what race you play in. Assassins provide you with poison and provide you with a good addition to your ranged focus. And Orc will just make an undead get away, and Lich should not really be in any trouble. Yes, at least a few berserkers should die here in exchange for a few ghouls. That should be relatively even trade. Lich should get away, a skeleton should be destroyed. Destroy the skeleton. Thank you. Torrent Chieftain got a large healing potion on him, so there will be likely no demise of a cow in the next few seconds, and Undead just decides to snipe Berserkers, because there are not that many Berserkers. There are 2 Destroyers out already, so if you can stop Berserkers from destroying your Destroyers, as stupidly as it sounds, it's a completely valid statement. Then you can win in this fight, but it's not what happened. Undead got a better trade, I believe, because ghouls cost so much less than berserkers do. I mean headhunters, of course, because berserkers do not cost any more than just a headhunter. There is no additional cost when you upgrade headhunters to the berserkers. And he will sell vampiric aura again, because again, ghouls are not that amazing, even with Vampiric Aura. Yes, they heal up, but they die to focus still very quickly. They are unable to get any benefit from Vampiric Aura, because you focus one ghoul, this ghoul instantly dies, you focus the next ghoul, this ghoul instantly dies, and in the meanwhile, all the other ghouls, as much as they deal damage to your enemy, they are at full HP, so they do not get any benefit from Vampiric. Another Burrow dice. Killing these Burrows matters. Killing those Burrows matters a lot. I would prefer this Raider. Oh, he has no web. Okay. He has no nets, so he needs... He goes for a Burrow upgrade, but that's a bit late. Losing to Burrows is a disaster as an orc. It's a complete disaster. Please creep something. Oh, he goes for the tiny, and I would like him to creep his laboratory. Please creep your laboratory, that would be awesome. Dear Focus? No? Okay, he wants to protect his tiny by being aggressive, that's also acceptable. That's not amazing, to be honest, because 50 against 50 against an undead, you should not fight that well, especially when you've got your expansion being built and established, and when you use such storms on your Tauren Chieftain, who is just level 2 right now, and you will lose quite a few berserkers here, and you may even lose the game. Yeah, Tauren Chieftain is completely without mana, and Shadow Hunter got enough, but just healing wave should not be enough. Tauren Chieftain will fall. Yes, and that's the game. Focus lost this game. Focus should lose this game at least. Yeah, GG. It's over. That was completely unnecessary attack. That was relatively pointless. Yes, and that was able to establish his own expansion, and expansion against an expansion orc is at a disadvantage. But Tauren Chieftain had literally no mana to use a single stomp. So that's awful. It's a professional gamer's problem. They play chess instead of playing game. Just predictable moves trying to outplay each other. There is a certain charm in it, but yes, I often watch tier 2, tier 3 professional players, because usually their games are a bit more entertaining. At the same time, when there is a creative tier 1 player like Focus, they can still entertain you quite a lot. But yes, certain players play completely standard. They are good, but they are exceptionally boring to watch. Like Happy. Happy is the best undead in the world, maybe the best player in the world, but he plays standard established strategies, and he wins solely because his micro game is so much better than of any other player. And I don't like to watch him. I don't like to watch him ever. But Focus against 120, yeah, it can be awesome. It can be awful as well, but you miss some, you hit some. That's exactly what happens. And he goes tier 2 even without a lumber bill. He goes tier 2 without barracks. Yeah, that's exactly what I am talking about. He goes tier 2 without barracks. He is completely certain that on concealed heal his opponent will not attack him, so he decides to go for quick tier 2, he decides to skip barracks. Yes, there is an acolyte check-in, but I believe 120 is just not prepared for the fact that Orc decided to skip barracks completely, and yes, he decides to not be aggressive. He is making Nerubian Tower in his main base, which is very strange, because there are no barracks, man. There is absolutely nothing to kill your units. Yes, Wyverns will be out, and that's likely because that's likely why he is making Nerubian Tower. But a single level 1 wolf should never kill an acolyte, because acolytes regenerate that well. On creep, yes, the wolf is trying, but you should just move this acolyte away. Yes, that's exactly what you should have done, like 20 seconds. Oh, he loses an acolyte. For hell's sake! The problem is that he needs to remake this acolyte. And the remaking of his acolyte makes his tier 2 slower by at least 30 seconds. That's a horrible mistake, really. You should just move this acolyte around the gold mine, and the wolves will never be able to kill him. And you will be able to just kill at least one wolf with your ghouls. And losing the acolyte in such way, oh, for hell's sake, why did you do it, 120? Why? So, he should lose this game. He deserves to lose this game. Yes, it's a minor problem. It's not such a big problem. But he just deserves to lose here. He made an unforgivable mistake. And he was not doing anything special. He was just creeping. So there was no way his attention should be split. So his multitasking could be a problem. No, he was just creeping, and you don't really need that much attention when you're just creeping the creeps, for hell's sake. Anyway, he's been in the early graveyard just to lock his base from the enemy's hero, likely. And Orc is going for Mass Wyverns. Orc, of course, is going for Mass Wyverns. It can be Mass Raiders as well, but I believe in this situation it should be Mass Wyverns, because there will be no Quick Web, there will be no Quick Fins. And the skeletons should die. If Focus gets his level 2, and he'll get his level 2 even from a single skeleton, he should get his level 2 even from a single skeleton, he'll be able to kill at least one ghoul. And Shadow Hunter is running towards this spot, so at least one ghoul should fall just through Hex. Yeah, ghouls are evacuating, one ghoul goes down, second ghoul should go down. Shadow Hunter, of course, is not in any danger because Death Knight is only 2.2. That was horrible decisions. 3 ghouls are going down. Yes! And I have to remind you that there is no expansion for an Undead, because expansions on Concealed Heal are not that easy to establish. And of course, Orc got a certain advantage on Concealed Heal just due to the fact that fountains exist, and these fountains provide you with a lot of healing, and of course Orc got a huge trouble with healing, because his healing salves cost money. It's 33 gold for 500 HP, and that's a lot. And of course, they do not heal you instantly. And the scrap goes to an orc. It was worth a hex, of course. And he will make 2 more wyverns, I believe. He should make 2 more wyverns. Yeah, he was a bit late with his borrow, but that's fine. He'll have 2 more wyverns, and with 4 wyverns he will likely just either creep, because wyverns creep very well, they deal a lot of damage, they focus very well, so he can get his level 2 on Shadow Hunter very quickly. And I don't really know what 120 is doing. 120 is completely lost. He doesn't know what to do on the map. He decided to go only for 4 ghouls. He lost 3. So right now, I mean, he has 4 ghouls, he lost 3, he had 7. He decided not to overbuild ghouls, but right now he got virtually no army whatsoever. So if he gets creepjacked right now, and he will, at least 2 more ghouls should fall. And all he got is heroes and skeletons, so Leech should be in certain trouble, not in too much trouble, but you, of course, can just kill Death Knight level 2. That's completely possible, and 120 types GG, that's on you, my friend. That's completely on the fact that you didn't know how to react to orc taken without barracks. And you should make goals. You should be completely and utterly aggressive, or you should establish your expansion quickly. Yes, it's not that easy on your on concealed hill. Yes, I understand it, but it's still perfectly doable when orc doesn't have barracks. You should make a spot behind your gold mine. You should place a ziggurat there. You should upgrade the ziggurat to spirit tower just to prevent wyverns harassing your acolytes. That's all very doable. That's all perfectly fine. But he didn't react well. And right now, will orc do the same thing on autumn leaves? Yes, that's a quick shop, and that's taken without barracks, and that's Blade Master. Okay, he switched one thing. He decided to go for Blade Master, mostly because Undead will likely decide to go for a quick expansion on Autumn Leaves. On Autumn Leaves there is an easy expansion, and the second expansion, the first one, I mean this one, there is an easy expansion next to the middle of the map, which you can take very easily, very quickly, with level 1 army, with level 1 hero during the first 3 minutes of the game. But of course it's very dangerous placement for an expansion. It's hard to protect. And there is a harder one. There is one that you have to apply a lot more force to take, because creeps are significantly harder there, and there is not such a good creeping route to take it, but it's more secured. It's more secure, it's way easier to protect, way easier to defend from enemy's harassment. And of course, Blade Master. Yes, he predicted properly. That's an expansion. That's a sacrificial skull. That's an altar being sold. That's a TP being sold by an undead. And there is a Blade Master. And Blade Master will buy boots. No, he buys circlet. That's fine. Boots are not that needed. Circlet is also awesome. He checks the wrong spot. Why did you decide to creep it? Really, you can't just interfere with an expansion creeping. What are you doing, Focus? I mean, yes, that's not bad. That's a tier 2 non-rechargeable item. That's gloves, likely the worst item he could get, but that's still awesome. And Blade Master decides to evacuate, and he'll likely go for the next green spot and take another non-rechargeable item. And he will just let Undead to establish his expansion, because this expansion is very, very vulnerable to wyverns. He got the best item he could. Yes, it's just a small +3 agility, but it's agility, and Blade Master, of course, loves agility. Every agility hero gets a lot more benefit from his corresponding stat from agility than strength heroes or intelligence heroes. I mean, intelligence heroes get a lot of benefits from intelligence early on, but agility is still the king of the hill. Strength is likely the worst attribute in this case, because it gives you raw HP on top of the fact that it gives you damage, and raw HP is good, but at the same time it's just raw HP. If you lose a tons, if you don't regenerate it, it's as if it never existed. In 2006, I won a Computer Club Championship in Warcraft 3, so with the full confidence of a professional, I can say that it's impossible to win without barracks. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was also paid money. I was paid at least $100 during my Warcraft 3 career. Yeah, there is there is a different accent in this world. In this world, for hell's sake, I'm losing my ability to speak right now. But yes, it's completely impossible to win without barracks. He'll make barracks at some point in the game. He just wants early attack. He just wants early and quick. Did he get an item? No, he didn't get an item. He didn't get the creep as well. So he gave up his creep spot completely. And of course he's under the effect of dusts, and this ghoul will live. Every single ghoul will live, to be honest. There is no way he'll kill anything, he just stalls. He wants his Torrent Chieftain out, he wants his Torrent Chieftain crept to level 3, he wants to establish his own expansion in the end, at some point at least. And he just wants for the Undead to not do anything. Yes, he got +5. Why does he... Oh, he has +5 to strength, he has +5 to agility due to small items. And, of course, he got +2 to every... That's a wave against an Undead. Why? Because you wanted to kill this ghoul so badly? Yes, he killed the ghoul, but taking the wave on a Torrent Chieftain against an Undead is so questionable. You want Stomp. Stomp is so amazing against an Undead, against all these ghouls, and you decided to take the wave. And, of course, Undead's expansion is up and running, and the Orc is making his own expo, and he's going for Raiders. Oh, that's why he took wave. Okay, that's additional reason for taking wave. He decided to kill at least a few buildings. He decided to actually harass the base with Raiders. That may work. That may very well work, but Autumn Leaves is not a perfect map to do it. The problem on Autumn Leaves is that expansion and the main base are relatively close to each other, and they are on the same line towards your enemy. So it's easy to protect one and not let attack another. So if you decide to Raider lane, if you decide to attack the base with Raiders, it's hard to switch between expansion and the main base, because you will not get as much time by an Undead reacting to your attacks in both cases. Or got himself a large creep, or got himself a large creep camp. Torrent Chieftain is getting to level 2. Of course, Endurance Aura is very desired when you're playing Raiders, when you're playing anything really, because of course Endurance Aura is amazing by itself, just as an aura. And Healing Stone is awesome. Health Stones are amazing, Rings of Regeneration are amazing, you get so many HP for free. I mean, right now he got only 40, but that will change. He'll get a lot more. That's a small healing, but it stacks. It stacks with itself, and of course the fact that you can... as I remember, most red tactic for an orc, pick Blade Master and go kill workers while invisible. It doesn't really work any longer. It was working back then, but right now on the pro scene, first Undead will usually just lock his base. Blade Master is a hero, he got a huge model, as all heroes do, so if you build your ziggurats and likely your graveyard in such a way that nothing can get to your gold mine other than small units, you are not in any danger. And the second thing is that right now acolytes are regenerating quicker on creep. Back then they were not. Back then acolytes didn't get 3 HP regeneration on creep, and right now they do, and that makes them so hard to kill. Okay, this Shredder should kill both ghouls. Yeah, that's a victory for an orc. A small victory for Goblin Engineering against a primitive Undead's magic. That's 144 crit. Lich instantly decides that he has to relax in an altar for a little while. He has to drink tea and feel complete. Take a break for 30 seconds. And playing creeps against playing fiends against raiders is not that amazing. Playing fiends against raiders is not terrible, yes, but you need frost armor, you need to apply frost armor properly, and now your leech is in the tavern. And Blade Master kills fiends relatively quickly, and one Kodo Beast ate a skeleton. That's a little bit suboptimal. And of course, right now, Focus will just use his Healing Stone, and will just kill this Death Knight in a glorious way with Wave. Lich is out, but it doesn't matter. Even if Blade Master dies, but he will likely not die because he got enough mana to just use Windwalk and get away. Run away, man! You won already, that's enough! Please heal up on your Blade Master. No, he wants to secure this game right here and now. There are two fiends in the bellies of Kodobists, so in reality 120 got 6 less limit than it shows, so he got only 39 against 50, and he got no heroes, and that's a disaster. That's a complete disaster. And that is mostly due to the fact that he decided to go full fiends against full raiders, against Blade Master and Tauren Chieftain with Wave. You really can't just play fiends there. That doesn't work. Especially when your Leech is only level 1. You need Leech at least at level 2, because Frost Armor against Mass Raiders, yes, it sort of works, but when you also got Blade Master level 3 on top of that, you just lose. He can get rid of the Frost Armor. He can deal with your Frost Armor. He is not slowed that much. He is slowed, of course, but not all that much. Okay, what next? What series do I want to watch next? I mean, I'll come back later and stream in Russian from about 6 p.m., I guess. Yeah, I guess. But right now I still got time to watch another series. Fortitude against Focus should be a win for a Fortitude. Lawliet against 120, that can be interesting. Okay, I've got to rename my streams. I can rename my streams. Focus against 120, Lawliet. Yes, today is the benefit. Today is era all the way. Yes, 120 all the way. Lawliet against 120, and then on my YouTube account, I also should rename the stream. Focus against 120, Lawliet against 120. Yep. So, Night Elf against Night Elf against an Undead. Yes, right now Night Elf is at a certain disadvantage, less disadvantage than an Orc, but still. And but the problem is that Lawliet can play absolutely godly, and 120 can play as an absolute potato. But at the same time, both players can play really well as well, or really bad as well, and roles can be reversed, so Lawliet playing like crap and 120 playing amazingly. So that might be entertaining. That might be quite entertaining. Okay. 120 against Lawliet, the first map is Shattered Exile. Another instance of Shattered Exile. I should get used to Shattered Exile, I guess, because it's been played more and more and more, and it's a relatively different map than all the usual ones, like Hammerfall and Springtime and Northern Isles. You get a completely different dynamic on Shattered Exile. I mean, Springtime can be interesting sometimes, but mostly because it has this middle expansion. It has this small spot next to this middle expansion, and players may decide to go for a quick middle expansion on Springtime because it's completely defenseless. There is simply no creeps next to it except for a small green spot. But in general, all these maps are played in quite a similar manner. And Shattered Exile is completely different. That's why I believe it's so popular, and it's Warden. It's Warden on Shattered Exile against an Undead. That'll be awesome. That's not Demon Hunter. Why is it Warden? Because you can get to level 3 quite quickly, because you can get a few items quite quickly, because you can get assassins, which also help you to deal damage, to focus the target that you dis desired, decided to destroy with your dagger. So yes, Warden can be amazing on this map, and this archer gets a few hits, but it doesn't matter, and Warden will just dagger this acolyte and kill this acolyte, because it's a little bit, but still it's additional experience, it's 20 additional experience. It matters. Warden gets gloves, 120 decides to not go for a quick expansion against Night Elf. Warden can be amazing against quick expansion on an undead, and he decides to go for his own laboratory. This laboratory moves you only to 1.8, so that may not be enough, but there is a second Ancient of War. Will Lawliet decide to go Mass Huntress? Will Lawliet decide to go Hunts in this game? He has Ancient of War already, and he gets his second Archer. That's interesting. I mean, yes, you can fit your second Archer in this strategy, because you will not have enough lumber to go tier 2 instantly after the first one. And of course you need additional Moonwell, you want as many Moonwells as possible with Warden. No, he doesn't go for Hunts, he goes for tier 2. Maybe it'll be Hunts alone with tier 2, but I doubt it, and Warden doesn't get surrounded. That was a miraculous escape, nothing less. Death Knight is level 2, Warden is still level 1, and this Merc Camp, it's very, very hard to creep this Merc Camp. That's so ambitious. There is absolutely no point to use level 1 dagger against ghouls, because of course you can get a lot of benefit from it. And Lawliet decides to hire an assassin on a different Merc Camp. That's fine. Focus stops the game. Focus is likely focus for hell's sake 120 stops the game. Focus is likely lagging. Is there a Wisp? Yes, that's a Wisp. That's a Wisp that can be killed with coil only, and of course you need 2 coils at level 1. Lawliet desperately wants his level 2. Lawliet desperately wants his level 2. He gets 2 assassins. That may matter. That may matter a lot against what Focus got. It's 120 for hell's sake. It may matter a lot against these ghouls. One archer should fall, but maybe a ghoul will fall. For some reason he decides not to use anything. Save this, yes, save this assassins. I mean, dagger level 1 is not optimal, but you can still use it a few times against Death Knight and make Death Knight go away. And you want for the Death Knight to get away, because right now your second Ancient of War is dying. Yes, dying very slowly, but still, it's going down, and this assassin is no less dangerous when he's playing for the creeps. And 120 decides to go for Naga. You know there is a dagger on this Warden. Why? Yes, he will be able to destroy this Ancient of War, but at what cost? There should be an instant dagger. And right now everything will suffer on his side. Naga is not a good hero in this setup, in this situation, because he decides to use Ritual Dagger against his ghoul to deny the experience. That matters. That matters a lot against Warden. This Ancient of War will fall. This Ancient of War, of course, gives you a little bit of experience, as all the Elven Ancients do. Not even a little bit, that's a reasonable amount of experience. Another Ancient may fall, and that will be problematic for Lawliet. Please use more daggers. I know you want to conserve mana until you've got level 3, but this moment will never happen if you decide to not use any daggers at all. Throw the knife. Throw the knife, woman! You're not a policeman, you're... I like how this... I like how this assassin doesn't really do any damage to this water elemental with his lightning shield, because that's how it does. This water elemental should be immune to magic. Finally, Warden is level 3, and right now Focus should run... 120 should run away. Yes, you can kill this assassin, but at the cost of your Naga. Because that's a dead Naga. There is... killing the second assassin will matter. He should also lose at least one ghoul. There is no way this ghoul will live, yes, and he should lose the second ghoul, but killing two assassins matters. Killing two assassins matters a lot. At the same time, it may matter a bit less than one may think, because Lawliet was able to play with just two archers. So the fact that he lost two assassins is more or less not completely, but still justified by the fact that he didn't make two more archers. No, three more archers, because Night Elf has a hard time playing with just 3 or 4 archers against an undead. You may want 5. He's clearing his spot for an expansion. Warden is 3.4. Warden got boots. Warden wants boots in this matchup. You want to be quick. You want to be using dagger a lot, especially when Naga will be only level 2, Naga will be only level 2.5 or so after this camp. Yes, that's very ambitious by 120 to creep the red camp right now, but he knows that his opponent is a little bit busy. So Lich is getting out, 120 got a good amount of experience on his Death Knight. That's Death Coil level 2, but again, Naga is still in trouble. Naga is still in a lot of trouble. Death Knight wants as many invul potions as he can only get. Warden is level 4. Warden gets Blink level 2. Now Blink costs only 10 mana, so you can Blink any moment you want. Yes, it still has 10 seconds cooldown, but still, it matters. The first bear is out. For Dryads, it's not so bad for Lawliet, but he still may want something else. This ghoul goes down, this warden will lose a little bit of HP, but against Naga with boots you can just get away. And this Naga is in danger. She is level 2, she will die to practically anything. Lawliet gets his health recharged in the Moonwells, he uses Clarity, and it decides to attack, but yeah, that should be an instant dagger into the Naga's face. Of course, Naga will live for a little while. She got enough to save her. This Dryad will live for a little while. There should be an instant rejuvenation. There is one destroyer, and destroyer is not able to cancel this rejuvenation. And Death Knight. Lich got mana, but Death Knight got only one coil. And this Dryad will still die, but there are 2 bears, and Death Knight is out of coils. Will Lawliet be able to survive? I hope so. Right now he's healing up. Right now he's trying to survive. He's making an artificial knight just to regenerate a little bit of mana in the Moonwells. Death Knight is able to kill his own fiends just to prevent Warden from getting experience, because Warden level 5 of course is so much more dangerous than Warden level 4. Dagger level 3 is devastating. It's what, 225 instantly, and then 45 more damage in 4 instances, so it's more than 400 damage. And he's waiting for his bears, because of course he wants rejuvenation on his warden. He is behind in limit, he is a little bit behind in experience, I would say, and that is in a good position, mostly because of this red camp that Undead was able to creep, mostly because of this red camp that gave him good items, that gave him experience in the first place. He didn't really give a shit about these items, doesn't give a crap about this Vampiric Aura. This Lich, this Fiend will live, this Bears should get... No Dispel on Bears? That may cost you, my friend. And Warden goes down, and that's GG. That was interesting. That was an instant snipe on a Warden blinking away. The problem with Warden was that Lawliet was unable to control the mid camp. He had to control the mid camp. He had to use more daggers level 1. I mean, just use the dagger level 1, start attacking Death Knight. It'll give you a little bit of space, because when Death Knight will be at half HP, you'll have enough space, because Undead will be afraid of engaging you. Okay, Echo Isles. On Echo Isles, Night Elf can also play Warden. Warden can be decent on Echo Isles. Demon Hunter can be decent on Echo Isles, as always. Keeper of the Grove can be decent on Echo Isles. Yes, it's classic Demon Hunter against classic Death Knight. Will 120 go for a quick expansion? It may cost him, because quick expansion against the Night Elf on Echo Isles is not very optimal. You may lose your units, you may even lose the game if you decide, if Demon Hunter gets a few kills with Immolation. So losing even 2 ghouls on Echo Isles may lead to your demise, just because Night Elf will get Dryads, Night Elf will get Mercs, and then he may be able to completely separate your main base and your main expansion by taking your Merc camp. So I don't believe it should be a quick expansion by 120. It can be a green spot, it can be an item, it can be harassment. Just an item from the green spot is already worth it. No? And this Wisp will leave. Oh, he goes for a smaller green spot as an undead. That's questionable. He goes for quick fins. Okay, that's new. He goes for quick fins, and going for quick fins is a questionable decision on Echo Isles. It's a strange decision on Echo Isles, because again, against Demon Hunter, going just for fins, going for quick tier 2 with fins may just lead to you not being able to do anything for a little while, because fins do not creep that quickly. And if you'll meet level 3 Demon Hunter as a level 2 Death Knight, you will have absolutely no presence on the map, especially Demon Hunter that buys items from the Merc camp, and he gets claws. Claws are amazing. Claws gives you quicker creeping. Claws gives you some ghoul kills, at least, possibly. He went for mana burn, so he is in no danger of creeps being stolen by 120. That was not a surround. That would be an epic surround. And you can surround with 4 units, you can surround with 3 archers next to the tree line, but sadly he didn't succeed. Please burn the Death Knight. It's a good moment to burn the Death Knight already. No? Okay. And right now, that's what I was talking about. 120 got 1.2 Death Knight against 2.1 Demon Hunter, and there should be another burn. Yes. So Death Knight got absolutely 0 mana, and how will this Death Knight find himself on this map? He has to find something to creep. Yes, he will be able to creep his own green spot at some point in the game, but Demon Hunter is already running there. So, if anything, he hopes to harass a few wisps, he hopes to kill an archer maybe with skeletons as his support. He hopes to kill a smaller green spot, And Death Knight gets, and Demon Hunter gets another good non-rechargeable item. And it's the second clause. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. He's creeping way quicker right now. He's dealing a lot more damage right now. He's a lot more dangerous right now. Yes. And 120 decided to go for Naga again and apply pressure, but you can't really apply pressure with two Fiends and Naga and your Death Knight. Yes, you can creep this spot, but relatively slowly and completely hoping that your enemy will not find you. And he has no Nerubian Tower. Yes, Demon Hunter will not be able to achieve a lot, but he'll stop his enemy from creeping, at least for a little while. Because he doesn't have boots. If he had boots, everything would be way worse for an undead. But in the end, undead got out of this dire situation with a small advantage. He was able to take a rechargeable item. Right now the camp will be grabbed by Lawliet. Lawliet got level 3 Demon Hunter. So there is absolutely no possibility for Undead to go for an expansion. Hell no. And this Naga is in trouble. Whoosh! 100 damage, hello there. Yet level 3 Demon Hunter still got no access to boots. I mean, he can get boots at level 1, he just decided to not buy them. So at this moment he is a bit too afraid to attack. So come on, Lawliet, either get back, buy boots, buy stuff of teleportation, and then apply pressure, but you're too afraid and you may not lose your Demon Hunter, of course, if you're not a complete potato, but you didn't get a lot out of it. Yes, right now undead heroes are very low. Right now you can creep whatever with whatever, because undead will be too afraid to attack you, and you decided to creep your Merc camp with just 4 archers on the tree of Ancient of War. Which is not bad. But at the same time, what are your heroes doing? What are you doing? Please go towards the shop, buy an invul potion. It'll be the first invul potion in the game, of course. On Echo Isles there is only one shop. It's extremely important. If 120 gets this invul potion for his Naga, I will just pray for a Night Elf to die, to lose. Because that would be his mistake, and his mistake alone. Because control over the shop is crucial. Having boots on your Demon Hunter in this game when you're ahead, when your enemy doesn't have enough levels, is also crucial. And Undead will be able to get everything from the shop, right? Yes. It's exactly what's gonna happen. Just buy an invul potion instantly. Please buy an invul potion. You will not make me sad by not buying an invul potion. There is a necropolis. That's a strange decision, but okay, he bought an invul potion. He deserves to win in this game. If he wins because of his this invul potion, Lawliet deserves to lose. Yes, Lawliet played very well. Lawliet made correct decisions, but still, that's a protector next to a necropolis, of course. He can do it, because it's not a part of approved strategy. No, they should absolutely know about the fact that there is only one shop, that there is absolutely no other ways to get invul potions other than this camp next to a marketplace and a top camp above it. But and 2 turtles on. No, turtles do not drop rechargeable items as well. So this invul potion is so important. I guess Lawliet is just saving money. Will this? No, this protector should not be able to survive. It lives! It lives, for hell's sake! Live, my dear tree! Yeah, and that in the meanwhile was able to kill a large creep camp, but he wasted his TP, and of course it was a TP he bought. And this Demon Hunter was in trouble, but finally Lawliet is quick on his stuff. Quick enough to save his Demon Hunter. At the same time, it would be so much better if he had a stuff of teleportation to just get back into this fight. If he had anything to actually get back, to not run across the map. If he had boots, so he would be able to run back quicker. Because right now it was a game won by Lawliet. And in the end, he lost a good chunk of his army. Poor Lawliet. That was such a crucial mistake, such a huge mistake not getting anything in the shop. And now he decides, oh, now I need an invul potion. Please sell Dust of Appearance and buy boots. Or buy stuff of teleportation. Buy something that will let your Demon Hunter get back into the fight after he gets teleported away. And of course, 120 is still behind, and the fact that he is establishing his expansion puts him even more behind, because right now expansion, of course, didn't pay for itself. Right now it's just some wasted money. Did both bears died? Yes, both bears died. That's a lot of experience. That's a lot of experience going 120's way, and okay, he is not behind any longer. He is on completely equal terms with Lawliet. And he started with freaking Fiends, and he didn't do anything in the first part of the game. And it was a game that Lawliet already won when he attacked at Anand's expansion. But no, you don't have boots, you don't have invuls, you don't have TP staves on your Demon Hunter, for hell's sake. They are both creeping turtles, because turtles give you such good items for so little effort, because just one turtle... Yes, turtles can be brutal, because they reflect damage, they deal splash damage, but if your army is mostly ranged, then you don't care about it. So turtle camps are way easier if your army is ranged, that's why they are creeping them now. Because for an undead it would be a disaster if he decided to creep it with ghouls. It would take so much out of his HP. The Dryad checked the shop. Did she buy a large invul potion? Because large invuls in marketplace are rare. Okay, and that was able to get another invul. Just buy it. Or are you waiting for another scroll? No, he was waiting for a TP. Okay, TP is also fine. Invul on Naga, scroll on Death Knight, TP on Death Knight, it'll be hard for Lawliet to defend. If Lawliet loses this game, he will likely lose the series, and that will be completely justified. Yes, Demon Hunter is under the effect of the Invul Potion. He is getting stuffed away. Right now, again, you would want your Demon Hunter to be back into the fray very quickly, but no. You just wait for a little bit. No, I mean, waiting for a little bit is completely fine. Losing your Moonwell while this Moonwell got mana in it is not so fine. And of course, Undead's expansion is working. Of course, every time you fight on your own expansion, you're losing a little bit, because expansion takes some damage, your workers take some damage, everything takes a little bit of damage, and that's basically a free advantage for your opponent. So you want to fight on an enemy's expansion, or maybe in the field, and right now Night Elf is fighting on his expa, and his expa is going down, and Demon Hunter is still late. He is constantly late because he's slow. He is barefoot. He never got himself a good pair of boots. Naga is in danger. Naga should die because Death Knight got enough mana for coil. No, he decides to save. He decides to save a fiend with this mana. He is able to deny his abomination because abominations give quite a good chunk of experience. His Naga will live, of course. He still got invul potion on her, so he's not in any danger. And Lawliet lost. Lawliet lost in this game. Lawliet lost due to an obvious mistake that he made. Demon Hunter is being saved, but that's GG. That's an obvious GG. So let's look at the game number 3. Lost Refuge. I don't really know who picked Lost Refuge, because yes, it's quite obvious that Echo Isles were picked by Lawliet. Night Elf is a little bit better, not really better, but usually Night Elf is a little bit behind than Undead to an Undead, and on Echo Isles they play on equal terms, and on Last Refuge they also play on equal terms. I would say that both these maps, mostly due to the fact that these maps got merc camps and not so easy to protect expansions, give a small advantage to a Night Elf, which puts him on unequal terms with an Undead. So it'll likely be, what, creeping merc camp from both sides? Yeah, it's quite possible. Undead can go for pure harassment. You can harass with your Death Knight on Last Refugee, that's completely possible. You'll be in time for the remainder of the creeps on the green camp of a Night Elf, or you can just make Death Knight, you can make a few skeletons with your Acolyte. He didn't go for a scouting Acolyte? Yeah, he decided not to scout with an Acolyte at all. Okay, he saves this 75 gold. And then you can just attack some green spots with just your hero and skeletons, saving money, going towards tier 2, then establishing your expansion after your tier 2 has been started, or not establishing your expansion at all, going for quick destroyers. And Night Elf goes for Dark Ranger. Yes! That's interesting. Dark Ranger is not that bad. On this map, in this matchup, Dark Ranger can be supported by the fact that there are a lot of easy to creep camps on this map with a lot of small creeps, and every time you get a skeleton, your creeping gets easier for a little while, so you want to amass a horde of skeletons. Playing Dark Ranger on Last Refugee is a well-known way to establish a quick expansion as a Night Elf, or just to creep to level 3 as a Night Elf. And Undead is just going for his own small camps. And Dark Ranger will creep faster. Dark Ranger creeps very quickly. Because you get so many skeletons. Please kill the 120th skeleton. It's a free experience for you. I mean, it is a free experience for you. Thank you for noticing that it's a red skeleton, not a blue one. I understand that you may feel certain obligation towards all skeletons as a glorious mother of bones, and all that's dark and bony. Now stop talking about boners. It's a Dark Ranger. She got quite a few fat deposits that attract me. Anyway, he is creeping his expo, he will go towards the yellow camp next, and then maybe with Dark Ranger 3.5, maybe with Dark Ranger level 4, he'll go towards his enemy, hoping to find quite a few fiends. He will not, quite a few ghouls. He will not find a lot, there are only 6 ghouls, so yes, 120 reacted properly. But still, because of course you get a lot of skeletons from ghouls, you get and every single skeleton makes killing next ghoul easier and quicker, so you get even more skeletons and so on, so on. Okay, Dark Ranger is 3.5. At this moment, 120 decides to attack, but gets surrounded. But no, Lawliet was not quick enough. Lawliet was not quick enough on Shadow Melting his Archer, and even if Archer was Shadow Melted, 120 head dusts. Elvish Archers like talking about boners too. Meh. They've got quite subtle constitution in comparison to Dark Ranger, who are not 90, 60, 90, but likely 120, 70, 120. The woman is thick. And of course you can be too aggressive with your Death Knight, because your Death Knight will just get focused and you will have to get away. Of course, Lawliet has absolutely no way of preventing Death Knight from getting away until he gets Dryads, and even then Death Knight will get away quite easily. I mean, he may even decide to go mass Dryads with Dark Ranger and just focus his enemy, just focus every single unit of his enemy, because the moment Dryads get out of your lores is the moment of power that you've got. With 2 initial Dryads, with 4 initial Dryads, you're very powerful. And right now 120 got absolutely nothing. And expansion is already there. And the best 120 can hope for is canceling the expansion itself. Not the 3, just the expo, which is free, of course. It's just additional time that you lose while not mining, which matters, of course, but it's not that bad. And now it's time for Lawliet to get back. Please don't kill this golem, that would be a mistake. That would be a huge mistake. You will not be able to save this expansion. He's trying to do it with wisps, but yeah, he has to get back. He didn't kill the golem. Did he? He got flute. He may be able to kill the golem. Coil Nova killed the Troll Berserker. That matters, but not matters too much, because doesn't matter too much because Lawliet got himself an expansion already, so that's an acceptable loss. And of course, losing skeletons doesn't matter at all, for as long as you do not lose 5 skeletons at once or so, because skeletons give abysmal experience. The power of nature will help them. The power of nature will help us all, of course, there is no doubt, because yeah, you are attractive enough, even if you're basically a god. And I'm looking at a Dryad, and I'm saying that the power of nature is perfectly unresistible. But still, irresistible, of course. The proper word is irresistible. So, Lawliet truly goes for mass Dryads, he goes for mass focus. Does he have tier 3? No, he's at tier 2. Right now he needs tier 3. He absolutely needs tier 3 for an orb, for everything else that he can get. Lich is level 2, Demon Hunter is still level 1, but it shouldn't matter. Yes, Demon Hunter is able to kill the large ogre, and that's drums. The aura is awesome, 1 Dryad goes down, that doesn't matter. Drums are well worth it. Lich is getting drained, the Demon Hunter will fall. No. Dark Ranger was able to save him. At the cost of what? 2 archers, but right now... Right now he's getting the benefit of an expansion. He's constantly getting more units from his expo. He needs a certain limit advantage with Dryads if he decides to go to play on tier 2. He's making 2 Moonwells, so he's going to his 80. He wants Demon Hunter level 3 at least. He wants Dark Ranger level 5, so at this moment I would really just make Dark Ranger get away. Move Dark Ranger away so she doesn't steal experience, so Demon Hunter gets as close to level 3 as possible, and then gets to level 3 from the next creep camp or next whatever he kills. Yes, and Demon Hunter got an Ankh. Ankh is also awesome against an undead. Not that incredibly awesome, but still. Lich is at level 3, Undead is making his own expa. That may be awful for an item, but I doubt it, and the second large camp goes to an Undead. At least Night Elf was able to get an item from the first one. Lawliet is playing too defensively. When you're playing Dryads, you can't allow yourself to play defensively. You need to attack. He wants his Demon Hunter to get to level 3, I understand it. He wants additional item, I understand it. But the moment Demon Hunter gets to level 3, right after this creep camp, you have to attack. You absolutely have to attack, you absolutely have to do something while your opponent is establishing your expo, while you've got an advantage of Quick Dryads. Quick Dryads give you so much if you've got additional 20 limit or so. Quick Dryads are completely unstoppable at this moment. Dark Ranger is level 5, Demon Hunter is level 3, and he's standing in the middle of the map. Why? Attack! Don't hesitate! Attack! You need to! You absolutely need to! You have to! There is no other option of you winning this game. Lich got Close plus 12. Close plus 12 are of course amazing on Lich. They are almost as good as drums. Attack! Get into the fray! Deal damage, do something. Yes, kill a ghoul, at least killing a ghoul is something. It's not much, but it's something. And Dark Ranger is dealing damage. Dark Ranger is dealing damage, and he went for Life Drain level 3. And Life Drain level 3 deals a significant damage per second. And it cools down quickly, and it costs you, what, 25 mana? 35 mana. No, it's level 1 that costs you 25. I don't even know if Life Drain costs you more when you skill it up. And Death Knight is in trouble. Death Knight, of course, uses his Invul Potion, but it should be just a small Invul Potion. And Lich will survive, and Demon Hunter will survive by the power of the mighty Life Drain. And 120 right types GG. Okay. I told you you have to be aggressive, and the moment you were, it all paid off. But really, he needed his Demon Hunter to be level 3, because Mana Burn level 2 is 2 times as effective as Mana Burn level 1, and that's just so much better, and Demon Hunter gets good stats per each level, and that also matters, and that matters a lot. Okay. For some reason, the stream on my phone is down again. But it should be fine. 120 against Lawliet. The game number 4. Concealed Hill. Concealed Hill? Again, I'm unable to understand who have chosen Concealed Hill. Because it's not a usual map for an undead. It's 3... Hello, mate, I love your stream and would love to be a fan and a friend. No, you don't. I'm really sorry, my friend Samsung678. I thank you for your subscription, for your follow, but I know you're a bot. I'm so sorry. I'm completely aware that you're a bot. You're not the first person who comes with this copy-pasted sentence to my channel. I'm really, really sorry. Okay, it's Keeper of the Grove against the Death Knight. It's Keeper of the Grove, for hell's sake. It is a dear god. A dear god. A dear god. So, Keeper of the Grove heals strength instantly, which I do not fully approve, because you can absolutely creep this camp without any trance. But fine, if you want to do it, I'm fine with that. So Death Knight is creeping his own yellow camp. This yellow camp is very easy. It should be a green camp, but it doesn't matter. It still gives the same amount of experience. And of course, Night Elf creeps this way quicker. And another bot, for hell's sake. What happened? Why did you decide to attack my stream, dear bots? I'll report you both, and it's not even worth reporting you because you'll be deleted in a span of few days anyway. At some point, dear bot, you will you will amass your numbers in such a way that I will not need your free and that I will need your free legion of followers. You will be my free legion of followers. I'll be followed by bots, but not by buying anything, just by the spam bots. Oh, that was a quick destruction of creep. I don't know why he is trying to tower rush his enemy, but against the Keeper of the Grove, Ziggurat rush should never succeed. And of course, Lawliet instantly goes for 2 Ancients of War, and he got 1 Ancient of War that survived. And right now, Acolytes should not live for long. You should really kill an Acolyte, dear Keeper. Acolyte is your first priority target. He goes for a Entangle on the Acolyte, and there is still enough mana in the Moonwells. And the second Acolyte is there, but this Acolyte should also fall eventually. I would like for at least one tree to get up and start doing something useful. And by something useful, I mean bashing on your enemy. On the Ziggurat. Nerubian Tower is getting up. The Moonwell is slowly being destroyed, but it should not fall for a little while at least. And of course, this ghoul will still die. What Lawliet needs right now is a shop. He doesn't have a shop. That's his mistake. That's a large mistake. He made 3 Ancients of War. He can't sustain production from 3 Ancients of War. And he has no shop. Of course, he will lose this Moonwell, there is no doubt, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter all that much. And of course, the 3 next to Nerubian Tower should be able to defend against this Nerubian Tower. 2 bots at the same time, lol. Yeah, they come in masses. They always come in masses. At the same time, it was just a single Nerubian Tower. Nerubian Tower that was cancelled, that has forced quiet response from Lawliet. He has now 3 Ancients of War. 1 Ancient should instantly go towards his expansion. Another Ancient should likely go towards the yellow camp or something. And he is making an expansion. That's an acceptable decision, because right now he's making an expansion mostly because he has 3 Ancients. And if 1 Ancient goes towards your expo, it will be able to protect this tree, at least for a while. Yes, this Death Knight will try to cancel this expansion, but he should not succeed, at least not right now. And that is going to tier 3. Night Elf still doesn't have his tier 2, but that's fine. And that spent a lot of resources. That's the problem. He right now do not have enough resources, doesn't have enough resources for graveyard. Does he have a graveyard already? I don't really know, I'm not so certain. For additional creep, for anything that may help him to win. Yes, right now he will mine lumber quite quickly with his ghouls, because mining lumber with ghouls when you've got 8 ghouls is of course very easy. But at the same time, he will be very limited in gold. He should not be able to just achieve victory by the fact that he got himself a quicker tier 3. Night Elf should be able to establish his expansion in the end. There are 5 ghouls that are trying to be obnoxious, but I doubt he'll do anything before this tree gets up. And then there are 2 barracks. One barrack is producing one racks is producing archers. One racks is waiting to creep. That's a crucial moment. If this tree goes down, that will be painful for Lawliet. That will be very painful for Lawliet, but this tree should stand. This tree should live. Please, please eat a tree. Eat a tree with your tree, so you can save your tree with a tree being killed. Okay. Now Rex should be used as a deterrent for possible undead's aggression, and your expansion should just go towards its final placement. And of course, creeping up your Demon Hunter to level 2 at least. Of course, he'll not get to level 3 here, but he'll get to level 2, and that will be awesome. He'll get to even 2.3, 2.4. Quite likely no, 2.1, that's fine. Lich is creeping. Yeah, that's expected. That's fine. There are 7 ghouls still alive. Yeah, one ghoul died. I thought that ghoul died to creeps, but it's not what happened. And of course, there are additional racks to just creep this merc camp. It's a laboratory. It's a laboratory, you potato. Anyway, Demon Hunter will be level 3. He got the worst item he could. It's a Talisman of Evasion. Of course, he has his own evasion, and his evasion doesn't stack with the Talisman. And using Talisman on Keeper of the Grove is very questionable, because usually your Keeper of the Grove will just die to 2 Coil Novas, and you can't evade 2 Coil Novas. These are spells. It's a bit hard to evade spells. Getting the largest creep on the map, and that will get a good item. Let's hope. Oh, that's Django of Endurance. Is this game over? Just because he got Torrent Shift and Aura? Not yet, but it's problematic to continue for Lawliet. He will need a lot of force. He will need a lot of Dryads, he will need good micro, he got too many archers, he got 10 freaking archers! Does he have bows? Yes, of course, he has bows, he has 10 freaking archers. He needs bows upgrades for them. And he's making more! He's making it to 12! What are you doing, my friend? You want to defend with just archers? Yes, they deal a lot of damage to destroyers, enough said, but they also deal to skeletons. They instantly deal to die to skeletons. And they die to Novas, and they die to everything that Knight Undead can use against them. And at least 4 archers fell already, and nothing on an Undead side. The second drugs are there. At the same time, Undead is out of mana. Undead is completely out of mana. Keeper of the Grove is in danger, but he should leave. Again, Lawliet doesn't have anything on his base to defend it, except for Moonwells. He wants shop. He wants his shop, and oh, Keeper of the Grove is actually in danger because Death Knight got a large healing potion, large mana potion, and right now just use large mana potion, and no. That was a TP. That he knew what's gonna happen with him the next moment. And right now this expansion is in danger. And that's what you get for just massing archers. You can't mass archers against an undead. It's an undead. He got ghouls. He got ghouls with frenzy who deal as much damage as a knight. They actually do deal as much damage as a knight, to be honest. They deal more damage than a knight if you take 2 ghouls into account. You just have 2 ghouls, which cost 240 gold, and then you have a knight who costs, what, 245 and 40 lumber. Or even 50 lumber, I forgot, sorry. And he deals less damage than 2 ghouls. With frenzy. And knight requires you to have tier 3, and ghouls require you to press a G button in your axe. Okay, Demon Hunter is still alive. Demon Hunter is actually the only hope that Lawliet has. And both Moon will shut down, and he is still producing archers, and he's making Priestess of the Moon. Just so the lady can add some damage with her aura, just so the lady can carry an orb. Because orb is so important against an undead. And he likely got... he likely just now felt that this game was over. Because he saw this expansion by an undead, and it's already a functioning expansion, and he's losing his own, and that should be over. Yeah, this game is over. That's the end, my sweet friend. I mean, I don't really know why he didn't go for a shop on his expansion. I don't really know why he decided to not go for druids, but decided to go for pure archers. Is he having fun? Doesn't he want to win? Pure archers just do not work against an undead. They never. But I doubt it will help a lot. He got 2 orbs, and that still should be over. He's trying to deal enough damage for an undead to just get away. Archers, of course, can kill ghouls almost instantly, but at the same time they die almost instantly to everything. Except for maybe piercing damage and magical damage, but there is no piercing and magical damage. And there are Rex already grown up. They are always grown up. Yeah, there are no juvenile Rex. And the fact that he decides to fight on creep with his barracks is just not what I approve. One destroyer should not go down. It should be saved, but at the same time it was the last coil, and it's the last statue. No, you should never be able to win against an undead with what you have now. It's just a bad strategy. Yeah, he's crumbling. He's finally crumbling. Demon Hunter is in a little bit of danger. Demon Hunter goes down. Keeper of the Grove was not there on time to save him with the stuff. And that's all. GG. And that's series for you. Lawliet lost. I can't blame Undead in this series. Lawliet lost mostly due to his mistakes. He lost at least one map solely for his mistakes. It was Echo Isles. And then on this map, his decisions were also very questionable. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I'll come back later and stream in Russian. Way later, maybe. 6 p.m. Something around that.